So I did just want to take this off tripod so I could capture this moment, just because we just got done with our 505-pound squat, which I'm pretty stoked with, to be honest with you right now. But I did training goals for 2020. One of the goals was to squat 505. Currently May, and we've just been able to hit that goal, which is pretty unreal. I'm pretty stoked with that. Hey everyone, Selwyn here from WynnStrength.com. Today is actually going to be testing day for the squat, bench, and deadlift. The funny thing with reading training programs is you should also pay attention to what you're reading when you go through the training programs. So given that this was a 12-week program, the 13th week wasn't preparation for the next week of testing. The 13th week is preparation for testing in the 13th week, or peaking in the 13th week, I should say. So it makes a lot of sense now looking back. Day one was practicing your openers, have a rest day, and then the second day was practicing with your warm-ups, have a rest day, and then the next day is going to be testing day. So we're going to work up to those warm-ups, to the openers, and then see how far we can push ourselves today. Ideally, we're going to be setting some new 1-rep maxes today, hopefully in the squat, bench, and deadlift, all 3 lifts. At the very least, along the way, we have hit some new training maxes, so at least I'm positive that we'll hit those. We'll see if we can push a little bit further today. But lesson learned, pay attention to what you're reading, pay attention to the training programs, and pay attention to instructions. So here we go. What we're going to do today is just break it up, work our way up to our heavy squats. My vision for today is to just have like a mini mock meet where we do all 3 lifts in one day with minimal-ish rest in between each of those movements. I'm not going to be doing any extra movements, just really working up to those 3 attempts at the 3 different lifts, and we'll see where we end up today. Hopefully we'll set up some new maxes again. Okay, so we go with attempt number 1, 495, my current 1-rep training max, so this will be opening set. As I said, we should be able to hit this pretty good, and it should only be uphill from here. Okay, here we go. Attempt number 2. Gotta get this. This is a 505. This will finally get me into that 500-pound club, well into the 500-pound club. So I'm looking forward to this. We're gonna be able to get this weight. Alright, so we're ready, set 1 PR, 505 pounds for that second attempt, pretty sick for that. We're just going to go for broke, we're going to go for 515 pounds. Let's see how good this goes for our 3rd and final attempt today. Okay, so we did it. 3rd and final attempt. Super happy and super proud of that. 515 pounds. We shot past the expectations. I was expecting 505. today, just with how that moved in the past. Bit iffy. I just watched the replay. Pretty happy with depth. You could probably be the judge of that. Leave a comment below if you don't think it was deep enough, potentially 1 inch lower. It feels like we were right at parallel there. But nevertheless, pretty happy with this 515 pounds. Blew my expectations out of the water for today. Well into the 500 pounds for squatting. So that's something I've been shooting for a while. I'll do a video coming up shortly about how the progress has been going so far, because I think that's one thing that some people like myself find pretty hard to comprehend or put numbers to, is how long it takes you to get to certain milestones, and I just want to track over that as far back as my records will allow. But coming up next will be bench press and deadlift. I'll try and superset the warm-ups for there, and then switch over to just mainly doing bench press, and then we'll wrap up with some deadlift today. Hopefully we hit 2 new PRs today. Okay, so we warmed up with both the bench and the deadlift. I'm switching over to purely the bench right now, just so we can get some numbers up. We're hitting heavy singles, approaching the end of the warm-up phase there. This will be 295, our last warm-up, and then we're going to start hitting some opening sets there and see if we can get a new bench press PR today. Okay, so this will be attempt number 1 for the bench press. It'll be 315 pounds, 10 pounds shy of my current training PR. The shoulders are not that happy today, so we'll see how this feels and see if we can at least match that 325 in the second attempt at the very least. Okay, so here we go, attempt number 2, 325 pounds. This is my current training max. I've only ever lifted this weight twice before, so hopefully today will mark the 3rd time I'm able to pick up this weight. Throwing on some wrist wraps, and here we go. Alright, so that wraps up bench pressing. Second attempt, I don't think I'm going to go for a 3rd attempt. We hit 325 pounds, which I'm pretty happy with. 3rd time hitting that weight ever, so I'm pretty stoked with that. Resetting the PR, I guess, or relifting that. Reason I just want to call it short is because my biceps and shoulders weren't feeling up for the job, so you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them, really. I'm happy with today's result. Feeling a little shaky on the way up, so I figure I'd save the shoulders for another time and not push it too hard. So 325, again, happy with that result, calling it after attempt 2. Now to move on to the deadlifts. Okay, so this will be attempt number 1 for today, 505 pounds, 20 pounds shy of my current training PR with the deadlift. The problem with that being is that we're actually starting to run out of energy today. Testing your singles on one day can be very tiring and super fatiguing. So I'm trying to get some juice in right now. I've actually mixed it with we have some pog juice, awesome stuff, grab some, make a little tropical, got some coconut rum. Yes, we are doing some shots of rum before a deadlift to kind of ease away those nerves and hopefully get some false sense of energy again, because I'm feeling pretty tired right now, I'm not going to lie. Again, something to look out for when you are trying to test so many big moves in one day. Not only are you just doing 9 lifts, you're doing all the warm-ups at each of those movements, and by the time we get to the deadlift, you're going to be pretty fatigued, and that's just how that is. So hopefully it's a little bit of a sugar rush, a little bit of alcohol high, and let's see if we can at least match that 525 today and take home a good win and close out the day with a solid session. Okay, so this is attempt number 2, 525 pounds, my current 1 rep max that I've been trying out in P. So this will be attempt number 2, 525 pounds, which will be my current training max. This will be the second time I've attempted this lift, so first time went well. Hopefully attempt number 2 goes as well as the first time, and we'll see how we are feeling for our third attempt today. Alright, so attempt 2 went pretty good, I think. Seeing stars there. I'm gonna go to replay and we'll see how we're gonna go for our third attempt, see what this weight should be. Let's try and push some boundaries today. Alright, here we go. Attempt number 3. It's gonna be 535 pounds for a new PR. We're kind of shooting for the stars here. Let's see what happens. We got a 10-pound jump from last time. So the progression was 525, and now 535 for an attempted new PR today. Oh. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, that'll wrap it up for today. I think it was a pretty successful day, all in all. We got brand new squat PR. We did the same for the bench and the deadlift. I think one of the things that I'm definitely not accustomed to is trying to go heavy on all 3 lifts on the same day. As of right now, we're at the 2 hour and 5 minute mark, so a lot of work in a relatively short amount of time, especially when you talk about going heavy. It's something you definitely need to train for and get ready for that competition day, just because it is quite taxing on the body. I haven't eaten anything for the last 2 hours. I had a small breakfast this morning as well. It's currently 2 o'clock, so we've gone a significant amount of time without any real food. We had like a shot of rum with some fruit juice and some electrolytes today, and a Monster. That's really all that's fueling me right now. So I think with that background in mind, I think all in all it's kind of good, but definitely need to work on preparation. If this is something I actually want to do in an official powerlifting meet, there are a lot of factors to consider and a lot of things to keep track of. Definitely by the end of the deadlift day, I'm surprised at how people are able to still put up some really heavy weights with that deadlift, because it feels like that squat just kind of blew out my ability to perform both for the bench press and for the deadlift. My hips feel shot, my shoulders and biceps feel kind of sore, not from lifting heavy weights, but just because of that aggravated injury from the opening up with that heavy squat. So it's very taxing, but stoked with that. We got new PR by about 10 pounds, and we kind of blew out my goal for 2020 was to obviously hit 505 pounds. We finished up today with a squat of 515 pounds, May of 2020, so 5 months in. Pretty unreal that we're able to hit that weight, so I'm pretty happy with that. So with all that said and done, that's going to wrap up the current training mesocycle. So I think it was very successful mesocycle all up. Actually, what I need to do is weigh myself to see what body weight I'm at, so I'll be right back. Alright, so I just got back from weighing myself. We weighed in today after the session at 207.5 pounds, so I've been hovering around the 210 pound mark. I think once I eat a meal and get hydrated again in a couple of hours, I'll be back up at 210. So I think that's a great way. I didn't really put up too much. I didn't really increase my body weight too much, so I'm hoping that has led to increases in both neuromuscular adaptations and putting on a little bit of extra muscle than when we did start the training mesocycle. So I think all in all, a great 13 weeks of progression when we look at where I started and where I ended up, especially with that goal of increasing that 1 rep max. We definitely increased the 1 rep max over the course of the 12 weeks. Several PRs along the way, and also without having to put on a lot of extra weight. So I think that's a twofold positive out of the event. Sorry, a twofold return out of the 12 weeks. So I think that was really cool. That's about all I have to say for the training cycle. I will note that it was based loosely off of the Barbell Medicine strength template. Again, I made a significant amount of changes from that, so don't consider this a review or like your results typical of the program. But in the past, where I followed the program quite strictly, I've had quite significant gains in my 1 rep max strength out of that program. So not to say that the program doesn't, at least for my personal experience, the program is very successful in is very good at eliciting increases in 1 rep max strength for the squat, bench, and deadlift. The way I performed it, I modified a fair amount of it. I loosely based the structure off of it, while still seeing some increases in 1 rep max strength. So I think it's a solid program that you can make slight modifications and be fine, or make major modifications and be still quite fine with the results you end up with, depending on your specific goals. I wouldn't suggest modifying it right out of the gate. I would say run it a couple of times and then start doing some changes that way. But again, it's a great program. A really big fan of those guys, and we've obviously had some positive effects out of the program. So that'll wrap it up for this training cycle. Thank you for watching this series. Hopefully it's been helpful for you. Hopefully you've seen some advice that can help with your own training. Shoot me an email if you need any advice. That'll be on the YouTube channel somewhere. Stay tuned for the next training cycle. This has been Selwyn from WynnStrength, and remember, a better life through strength.